So, okay, obviously the big event this week is going to be NVIDIA. Their earnings come out tomorrow after the close. So, unfortunately, it won't be able to trade that until after. Um, we're down around 720. I mean, guys, honestly, I hate to say it, but NVIDIA is going to have to absolutely blow out earnings this week to see another move higher. Even if they do beat earnings by a little bit, it's not going to be enough. The stock is, I mean, as you guys know, is inflated as all get out, right? I mean, we've gone from 500 to about 750. I mean, that's a massive move. I mean, SMCI did, kind of had that same move and even bigger. And, I've mentioned it multiple times the last month that one day it's going to all end. And you kind of saw a preview on what I've been talking about on NVIDIA actually end up happening on SMCI. We dropped from about $1,080 a share to about 800 in one day. I mean, that's a 20% move on $1,000 stock. That's freaking crazy. A lot of money could have been made there, and a lot of money could have been lost very quickly. So that's just a perfect example of when something is running just, parabolic. Everyone wants to try to get their piece. Everyone wants to try to buy in. A lot of the retail guys who aren't trading a lot and whatever, they see it on Robinhood or Wall Street Bets, whatever. They buy in and kind of on that last little run up. That's what the big money guys want, so they can dump their shares off to the little minnows. And then once it starts rolling over, it's just stop loss central. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone's getting stopped out. People are trying to smash the short side, trying to get this thing to fall even harder. And you saw that on Friday. So I know it looks pretty like crazy and fun to trade, but it's extremely dangerous. I didn't trade it at all. I didn't take any trades on Friday. It is what it is. I was waiting for this NVIDIA 750 and we didn't get it. But yeah, guys, I mean, I think chances are NVIDIA is going to fall. But like I said, they have to just really crush their earnings estimates for this to have any sort of life left in it to just skyrocket. Chances are they could do good and it falls, or maybe they just do decent and the stock chops around and actually doesn't even really go anywhere within, it would need to move about 100 points for you to make some money on the calls or the put side. So if it doesn't go anywhere, these contracts are going to be so inflated because the market makers know everyone's going to be looking at NVIDIA. And if you get a choppy move, you're going to lose on either side. So I would highly recommend staying away from trying to swing into earnings. But if you want to do that, just be 100% confident that you're okay with losing 75% plus of your position. Lunar, let me check it out real quick. Sub $10, not usually something I would trade. Looks like it's moving pretty nicely here. You're up about $2 pre-market. I would look for, probably this $10 break here if I were to trade this. It's not really my style. Probably not something I'm going to be looking at that close. But if this thing does get above 10, that's a huge resistance you can see way back here. So, you could get a run. So I would keep an eye on that $10 level for sure. Okay, so my two watches today. Really, I'm not a huge fan of anything to the upside, really. Let me just check out Meta really quickly. That may be my only one. Okay, no. So I would be looking for highs on Meta. I'm not looking for anything else. I'm not going to trade anywhere in this zone. I would trade down here by 450 or 488, 490. Everything in between, I'm not a fan of. Amazon's close to this gap, whatever. NVIDIA obviously is one of my favorite upside watches, but it's not, we have earnings tomorrow. AMD, middle of the range, not really where I want it. I would love to see this 180 level again. I want to see this start popping off. If NVIDIA does good, AMD is going to kind of follow its lead. So I do really hope NVIDIA actually just, surprises everyone and we get a crazy move. But I feel like the chances are pretty low on that. So my upside trades, my setups aren't really close. So if we do get a bounce day in the market and my levels don't come, I mean, guys, it just might be another one of those slow days. But we'll see. However, if the market does fall, I have two really solid setups that I like. So Apple is going to be the first one. These aren't in any particular order. It's just whatever one comes first. Apple's around 182 and a half right now. But as you can see, we got a bounce here, and a bounce here at 180. So I'm going to be looking for this 180 break to the downside, especially if the market's weak. The low of this candle here is 79.25. So let me mark that off. So Apple downside and then BA looks really solid to me. Both kind of the same setup, move down, kind of bear flag, chop around. You can tell here that BA is kind of coiling up here for a move. We're opening very small red here on BA, but again, I need the market to be very weak. And if we can get that really solid 200 level, and then 198 is going to be that low that then we can play for. If they give this up pretty strong, guys, there's really no support until 190, then 180. So this could have a lot of room. It's something that I'm going to try to let work for me, really try to hold for some targets on this. I don't want to just be in and out too quickly. BA, if it wants to move, it will. And I want to, let that risk to reward really pay out. So that's about it. BA and Apple are going to be my downside move. Something else that we could keep an eye on to the upside is going to be Netflix. I did swing this over 180 or 580, worked fine, whatever. Ended up rallying at the end of the day, and then massive sell-off on Friday with everything else. So really just kind of looking at this break and retest here. I'm not looking to get in anything off the bat here, but it's a pretty solid break and retest. So if I can see buyers come in here and hold this 580 level here, and then we can start creeping back up to this high 597, well, that whole number 600 is sitting right there, and that's going to be something I'll be interested in. Other than that, I will not trade this to the downside, and I will not trade this anywhere until we get up closer to the highs. So I want that to be very clear. I'm not going to do anything. So yeah, guys, pretty simple. If we get upside today, I kind of got to be patient and let those setups come to me. If we get downside pretty aggressively, then I think we have some really solid setups. And Apple and BA are slow movers, so we really got to let those work. They're not going to be quick scalps like we're used to. I was very patient last week. And, of course, I want to get a solid trade here, but I know that if I go and try to force something and go red on it, I'm not going to be very happy. Well, today open up red here on YouTube. It's looking like it. Yeah, we're down about 0.5% right now on the Qs. What's up, Slim Pickens? Jeremy Dennis, what's up? What's up? Review SPY support on move down, please, and QQQ. Okay, SPY. Yeah, we're just kind of coming into support here. Around 97 to 95 is just going to be a zone. You can see that how price kind of reacts around this area. So we're definitely coming into support. Could easily bounce, but if we can give up these supports, then it might be time for us to pull back. Looking on a big time frame here, we've done nothing but just rip. We had a pretty solid double top here. So, we could easily come back into the 490 levels. If we can get a move like that, that's really going to help my downside setups. Wow, Apple just got really weak here. I'll go into that in 1 second. We finish this up. But yeah, so we're looking pretty bearish. Until I see a really strong bounce, then I'm not super thrilled. QQQ definitely looks bearish to me as well. Got this little uptrend here that we are breaking. 425 is going to be that pretty important support level here that we all need to be watching. We can come into here. We either bounce or if we can break through this, things might get ugly. So for my sake, I would like to see the downside, but we'll see. Tesla, I'm not really interested in, Sam, unfortunately. But real quick, I'm looking on my side screen here. Apple just had a really weak couple candles here coming into the open. So I do want to see that. And then where's BA at? BA not really doing much. It's not really a pre-market mover. So we got about 40 seconds here. I'm going to be watching the Apple 180 puts unless BA wants to lead the charge here. So far, Apple's the closest. So I'm going to load those up. They shouldn't be that expensive. Everyone should be able to afford these. If you need to go a little bit further out of the money, I would do 175 puts. But, sure enough, these 180 puts have 26,000 open interest. So there's a lot of attention there. So that's good. I'm looking at the right thing. I know that was a lot, but I wanted to make everything pretty clear. So if I do trade Boeing, it's going to be the 200 puts. But so right now I have the 180 puts loaded up on Apple. And we're off. Let's see here. A lot of volume came right into these 180s. We also have volume in the 185 calls as well. Looks like NVIDIA is dropping off here. BA pushed off the open. Let's just let these setups come to us. Any questions? Anything else, guys? Nothing super close. So, I mean, $2 for Apple's a decent amount. I'd like to see this market really roll over here. Seeing some buying come in here. BA. I don't want to see that get over 205. We're sitting around 204 right now. Bitcoin had a pretty big pump and dump the last 30 minutes. Went from about 52.5 to 53,200 and then right back down. Let me take a quick look again at the news this week so I don't miss anything, just so you guys know what's going on. I didn't see anything important. I mean, we have FOMC minutes tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. That's really just going over the notes from the most recent FOMC meeting. So it'll cause a little movement, but nothing crazy. Then our normal jobless claims on Thursday. And then we have PMI composite flash and existing home sales. That's really about it. So not that much of an exciting week. But that means we don't need to be as cautious about news. BA just rolled over a lot quicker here. Looks like the market's kind of ripping here a little bit. So I do like to see BA fall. Tesla's falling here, out of all things. Market's not going the way that I want it. NVIDIA's falling as the market's pushing. BA is now pushing. What about Savita's Resources? I'm going to need a ticker on that. Noah, do you have a ticker symbol? I haven't looked at that stock before. NASDAQ ripping here. So is SPY and ES. So once again, we have some good setups to the downside here. We're just going to need some cooperation with the market. I mean, we're 2 minutes in. I'm not going to create a bias just yet, but the solid setups to me are to the downside. Everything is getting a bit tired up at the top, where it's just been absolutely on a tear recently. Just about everything. Yeah, Meta's moving pretty well. Again, I'm not really that interested into around 488. So we got about $14 to go. But we'll definitely keep an eye on that, Jim, for sure. That new high through 500 is definitely going to be a pretty heavy watch for some people. BA trying to push here through 204.20. Tesla rolling right back over. Where's Apple at? Apple 182.30. It's not too far away, but just no selling pressure yet. I don't know where it is. Let's see what SMCI is doing. That's going to be a big watch for some people. Opened up under 800, tested it, and now we're falling. This might have another slip day in it. But just so you guys understand why I'm not looking to trade this, at the money contracts are $5,000 now. So they've gone up in value. The IV is 223%. So, maybe something I would watch on the side for me, but there's no way that I'm going to signal that stuff for y'all. $5,000 for a contract is really risky. SOUN going as well. Okay. I don't know what that is, but we'll take a look. It's moving okay. Yeah. Cheap one, though. Looks like they got some news. I don't see earnings, so it's definitely a news move. BFRI is being held from buying and trading. Should I be worried? Meaning it's halted, I'm sure. So it did open the day and got halted on high volume. Well, F Bum, I guess that's your name. Just it depends on what you're looking for. Have you bought into this? Are you trying to short it? What's going on? What's your idea here? AMD is falling off. I hate to see that. The one stock I actually want to be strong is selling off now. So that's just great. You know, I give you guys these trade ideas early on, so you don't think I'm just sitting up here and saying, "Oh, well, whatever. This is going the other way." I mean, it's true. I want AMD to the upside here. It ends up selling off. I want BA and Apple to the downside here. They start getting bought up. Nvidia falling down into 710. I think people are probably going to get scared off a little bit before earnings. Looks like BFRI is unhalted here. Whoever was looking at that. Halts can be good or bad. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. What's going on with this? Yeah, it's just kind of ripping. Okay. What else here? Nvidia is getting killed. Okay, I'm liking this on Apple here. I'd love to see this really roll over. Again, I'm not going to look to try to force anything up here. I mean, as much as I could force some, buy some puts here on the low of the day, there's so much room down to 180. I'd rather just wait for the action spot rather than just trying to get in way too early here. I'm loving this though. The market's rolling over. BA rolled over really hard. VA can move pretty fast. So I mean, I want to make sure I keep an eye on that. You guys should as well, just in case I miss it. But I have alerts and everything ready. But it's the same principle on Apple and Boeing here. We're just kind of floating right above these levels. I need the stock to come down to those levels because they can easily just chop around up here, or they can come down. Apple could come down to 181 and then just bounce for the rest of the day. So no reason to just add extra stress when we don't need it. Let these trades come to us, and I promise you, if we can get a weak market and these stocks break these supports, all this waiting is going to be worth it. Nvidia, guys, this is pretty wild. I just talked about being under 710. This thing is getting killed. Let's see what these contracts look like. Look at this, looking like SMCI over here. $2,000 to $3,000 to even $4,000 a contract on Nvidia. So unfortunately, gonna have to stay away from this guy until after earnings. BA kind of bouncing right at low a day here. Apple broke through a bit. Let's see some continuation here. Market did roll over. That's good. Let's see. What do these contracts look like here? About 3,000 volume on the 180 puts, 4,000 and 5,000 volume on the call side, though. So, so far the calls are grabbing some more attention. But no one's ever right 100% of the time here. So let's see. Here we go, coming into 181. So 180 puts are about $1.30, so not much at all. It may not have hurt to take a starter up there with one contract, but no reason to get sucked into a trade way before the levels come. Just got some tweets here. It looks like a bunch of NVIDIA call sellers are flooding the tape, is what the tweet says. Meaning, besides buying calls and wanting the stock to go up, they're selling calls and wanting this to go down. So this might be the end of an era for NVIDIA for a little while. You took one contract, 180, put at 112. Beautiful. Well, you're up over 10% now, mate Nor. Great job. Either take your profits or just, we bounced right here on 181. So I would like to see this break. But again, 180 is going to be that level. So you might be able to use that contract to pull your average price in. But like I said, who knows? We may just bounce. I don't want to freak you out. So Do your thing. Have a stop loss in the green. And this looking really weak here. Look at that. Just broke 181. Beautiful. Got bought right back up, though. So let's see if the market stays weak. We might still get this. We're only 9 minutes in. So you got plenty of time here. Tesla trying to come in for low a day, and NVIDIA right around 700. Wow. They might just break this right off the bat. Oh my goodness. They just smashed through 700 by $1. Netflix under 580, so that's done. BA is sitting right at low a day. Nothing going on there. That being, you're saying Microsoft. Good job, mate. No, I like it. Yeah, Microsoft's getting pretty weak here. The NASDAQ is starting to fall pretty nicely here. Just real quick, check out NVIDIA. This thing is getting killed. AMD is done. Breaks my heart, but it's okay. Apple. Come on, Apple. Catch up here. I'm liking this, though. We're starting to get this solid selling pressure here in the market. So, ideally, I want to see us come down in here a little bit closer to 180. We get that bounce, and then we can play the low of day into this 180 level here. That's what I'm going to be looking for. Let's check out the wall here, though, at 180. Guarantee you there's going to be one. Nice. So about 150, 160,000 wall. Let's take a quick little screenshot of that for y'all. I'm going to send it in the Discord. So yeah, about 160,000. It's not insane for Apple, but that'll definitely bring some volume into this. So just got to be patient and let that happen. Oh, look at this. People are getting red in the video here. It's a 40-point drop today, down 6% coming into earnings. So, I mean, just thinking about it, I talked about it this morning, just from like a psychological perspective, people are probably going to be a bit iffy on these earnings. Even if they crush earnings and, really, really do a good job, they may not even go up. I mean, they have to astronomically beat the estimates here for people to continue to want to be buying into this. They, obviously we had the squeeze, we had the run up coming into earnings, the AI news, whatever. And people are going to start cashing out before earnings because, one, they probably caught a really solid move, and two, they don't want to pay to see if this is going to go higher or they're going to lose, millions of dollars here. Kind of waiting. And like, I also said you got somewhat of a preview with SMCI of how quickly this could die. I mean, this has already moved 70 points today. But, those contracts way too expensive for us right now. No reason to put you guys on that stuff. So we're going to stay away. BA just really doing nothing here. So I'm going to focus on Apple for now. But, if you guys want to watch NVIDIA and SMCI on the side, they look pretty entertaining. They're adding more to that 180 wall here. So more and more people are starting to throw orders down there. To me, that shows me chances are we're at least going to come down around that area today. I don't know when. I don't know if it'll just happen tomorrow or overnight or whatever, but it's just something else that's getting checked on the checklist. Yeah, Jim, for sure. I hope that no one in Penny Boys is bag holding the video. Because, I mean, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised if, they just come out mediocre earnings or even just beat by a little bit. And this is down by 600, even under 600. I mean, I don't know. And honestly, they can make these moves, the day before earnings, whatever, have some really big moves. IV inflates even more people buy in at higher prices on the contracts. Then a lot more room to make money on the IV crush. Yeah, Lee, I mean, I think so too, but I don't know. I think they got to really crush earnings tomorrow to get a move higher. If they don't absolutely crush them, then I think they fall. Yeah, Slim Pickens. I think that's good. I mean, that's basically the SPY of semiconductors, right? The chips. So it's not a bad investment. Come on, Apple. Let's go. Do what Nvidia and SMCI are doing. I like how we're holding under 181 though. I mean, that puts us within a dollar of this 180 level. So still getting some weakness here on the Nasdaq and the S&P. As long as these can stay weak, I think we can still get this trade today. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bounce, man. If you guys pull up NQ or ES, they really haven't had any sort of bounce yet. They're just kind of stalling out here around the lows. Love to see some more weakness here. Saw something about this 4988 level. Let me check this out. Come on. I can kind of see why, but we'll see. I don't know why my screen's lagging right now. Let me stream quality is low. Okay. Whatever. Tesla bounced up here to 195. That's getting some life in it. BA is starting to thank you, Lee. It's actually been pretty slow. I didn't have a single signal last week. Um, but hopefully we can get one this week. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, BA is starting to bounce back up, so that's going to move away from me here. Nvidia just had like a $10 to $12 bounce, um, up into 700. So we'll see what happens. AMD, yeah, it's totally sell off here. I hate that, but it is what it is. Let's see, where's Netflix? Netflix back above. Nope, never mind. Under 575 here. I did see that actually. Yeah, it's good eye. Discover not really moving a whole lot. What's COF? That's what it is. COF moved okay. Do they have moves pre-market? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, pretty big gap ups there. That was big. I think that would make them. I think that would make Capital One the biggest one in the country. I don't want to say the world, but maybe. I did see that this morning, but never traded the credit cards before. Come on, Apple. I don't want to see you bounce. The setup looks solid. It's taken a while to set up. I mean, probably, I don't know, 2-3 months. These are the setups I want to trade with full size. BA, just kind of having another one of its little shop days. But if we can get that 200 level, it's going to be exciting. NVIDIA kind of breaking retest here of 700. Just looking like this may be a bloodbath today. I don't know. I would be very cautious if you plan on swinging into NVIDIA earnings. I don't know that that's the right move. Let's just go back to Apple here. We're just kind of struggling around this 181 level, which I'm okay with. Don't want to force this too early, though. I mean, as much as we could play the new low and hope to see this come down to 180, I could just easily see the whole market bouncing. So I don't want to jump the gun too quickly here. Volume's pretty low, sub 200,000. You want to see at least over 250,000 volume here on the 1 minute on something like Apple. I mean, biggest company. or at least used to be. I don't know if Microsoft fell back under or not, but you get the picture. Biggest company, you want to see a lot of liquidity. This is a cheaper stock too, so volume should be much higher. Let's see what it does here if we can get a new low. Tesla failing at 195, little break and retest there. Nvidia did the same thing. BA, out of all things, is pushing. Netflix is now under 174. Amazon bouncing out of its gap. Disney just kind of chopping around, not much movement there. Just got to be patient here once again. No big news this week, so that either means we're going to have a slow week or we get just a kind of a clean direction week. I think NVIDIA is going to be a pretty big factor in which direction the whole market's going to go, but we'll see. I don't think I saw any big earnings other than NVIDIA, but let me double check that. Suncor, Dutch Bros, Lucid, Etsy, Rivian. So a couple EVs, Rivian and Lucid at least. Moderna is Thursday morning. Wayfair moves sometimes. Nikola, so another EV, but I think that was in the dumps nowadays, right? I remember trading this when it was really actually moving. Let's go a couple years back. Yeah, I remember these days on Nikola, and then it was over just like that. Intuit TurboTax, and then Warner Bros. So nothing too exciting. NVIDIA is by far the biggest name here. Then you got a couple EVs, so that may affect Tesla. I think SPY will keep falling. I definitely could. I mean, we're in kind of a. I mean, to me, I'm leaning more on the bearish side. We're starting to give up some supports, but obviously 495 is going to act as a decent support, so that could just be a target for some shorts here. Holding a 500 put on Friday. Nice. Well, it looks like you're doing pretty good here. Don't take my word for it. I don't have any skin in the game here, but it could come down to 495 if you're up over 100%. I usually like to tell people take your money and run, but it's all up to you here. We're still sitting sub 181, just really not moving much. Apple, let's go. We're only 22 minutes into the day. To hold $100 stop loss, 100%. Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're stop loss in the green, I mean, there's no risk. But don't be the guy that doesn't respect that green stop loss and then it ends up trickling all the way back to break even, What's going on with the Walmart over here? Little gap up. Oh, they split. They're splitting on the 26th. That's on my birthday. Huh. 226. Got some earnings going on. Interesting. BA is just going away from me now. Apple's now bouncing away. But guys, as much as it makes me mad that we're kind of bouncing around these supports, this is why I like these levels. Some people, their whole strategy is buying supports and kind of trying to catch a reversal. For me, it's much easier to read if this is going to break down or not. Just like I would like to see a breakout, over a resistance, I'm looking for a breakdown under support. when all that stuff lines up, that's where you can really catch some solid moves. Bounces to me tend to, you sometimes get caught in chop. You're just kind of playing a guessing game. But risk to reward is usually pretty solid if you can stick to it. But even if we do bounce today, it proves to me that this 180 support is solid. And if we can catch the day that we break under here, then it's going to be awesome. We need to really capitalize on it. It's not something you want to just be in and out on real quick. Apple's a slow mover, just like BA, like I talked about this morning. If we can end up getting this trade, especially with some momentum into the level, we really got to let it work. We can't get scared at a little bounce or a little wick. That's kind of when you throw it on a 2-minute or 5-minute time frame, even 15-minute, and really try to hold for a target rather than being scared by some 1-minute choppy candles. Because all this patience, you need to make it worthwhile. You can't look for a quick little 5 or 10% scalp when there's potential for 50% plus easy on something like this. So we'll see what happens. I mean, again, I'm not going to guarantee we get it today. We did get some solid selling pressure into this, and now the market's just kind of slowing up. So, I didn't mention pre-market. NVIDIA is a pretty big event, right? I mean, AI has been in the news nonstop. NVIDIA is leading the charge in that. It's been running. Everyone and their grandma has seen that NVIDIA, is ripping and maybe even bought some of the stock, right? So the market could just be at ease waiting for that. But that's why we show up every day. We'll see what happens. AMD down at 166. I hate that. We're about $15 away from where I want it. BA is starting to push through 205.40. NVIDIA bouncing back up here. What a move on NVIDIA. I wish we didn't have earnings because I would have traded that. This was aggressive. Look at the volume here. Over 1 million volume. About 10, 11 minutes into the day. You don't see that very often. But not a lot of people are going to be trading options on NVIDIA, right? Because they're inflated 100 to 200%. And guys with shares with the real money who actually moved the stock price. I wonder how much money you got. I mean, we'll just do the math here on this candle. We got we'll just call it 1 million. Million volume at roughly 690. I'll do the middle price, 692 a share. So in that 1 minute of time, roughly 692 million, call it $700 million were transacted. So think about that. It's a lot of money, especially for 1 minute of time. Apple trying to get back under 181 here. Come on, chart. Here we go. So not a bad bear flag. I mean, I'm really not mad at this. I might even take a super small starter position on this low if the market starts rolling over with us, just because, I mean, this isn't a terrible bull flag looking bear flag pattern. You kind of get the idea here, something along the lines of this. Do I think it's going to be a straight shot through 180? Absolutely not. Could this just chop around here and bounce? Of course. We got ES bouncing back up and NQ trying to bounce. So I do like seeing Apple stay a bit weak on its own. But ideally, Apple stays weak here, then futures complement this move, and we can get a solid move through these lows here. Just so we're on the same page, you got the 180 puts loaded up. I'm not in. I hope that's very clear to everyone so we don't have another mistake like Thursday. We are breaking this little uptrend here, so I don't know, maybe something we could start watching. I don't want to jump the gun too fast. I mean, 180 is going to be that big level. That's where you can really start getting moves down. The 185 calls have the most volume, so I don't want to be too biased here to the downside, but I also don't want to change my trade idea here because volume could mean selling as well. People could be selling calls. Doesn't mean they're just buying. Open interest is how many people held these overnight. And the call side has the most open interest. So those are just things to notice. I don't want to be hesitant and just completely change my idea here, but it is something to keep in mind. Low here, 180.68. We'll see what happens here. I may take one little starter, just one contract, and see what happens here. I don't recommend this. We'll just see what happens. We did get a low break, but again, we're 65 cents away. So we're still very far. Very, very far. I like the aggressiveness, though. Volume is picking up a bit. Nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, but I do want to see volume start creeping up as we become lower. 180 and 50 cents is going to be another level we got to get through. So we'll see what happens here. Again, down here is where I'm actually interested. So probably just going to hang out and wait for that. And we'll see what happens. I have one contract at $1.50 fill, but again, I'm looking to be in probably 20 contracts on this, guys. So understand that if you're looking to get in for one or two contracts, don't even get in. Don't bother. I just have one just to kind of test this here, just to see, just to have a little bit of skin in the game, just in case we start slipping, so that I can just keep adding. And again, of course, I'm going to tell you guys when I'm adding, when I'm really getting in. But look at that beautiful topside wick there. Now we're starting to fall. We got ES slipping as well. NQ is falling. I want to see Apple really start going here. We're just barely making new lows here. I want to see under this 50-cent level. And again, I mean, honestly, we could easily just kind of fall in here and then get our bounce. And we might even bounce up to this 180.50 level. And then if we can start rolling over there, that's going to be the trade. But that was a perfect example of a nice little bear flag break. I'm up about 10% on these. That one contract, pretty solid. 181.14. Yeah, I mean, that would make sense to me. Let's see this slip right down. This is nice. I don't expect this to be a straight shot. It definitely could be, but we're under this 50-cent level, so that's good. ES hasn't made a new low. NQ has. Apple volume's picking up here. This is perfect. So this is kind of where I don't want to add on a low like that, but if we can get a little bit of a stall, maybe a little bounce up here to 180.50, and then we start to roll back over, I'll start adding into this. Still just have that starter. So Apple's a slow mover. You guys don't need to get freaked out on 1-minute candles. Go in with this little bit of amount of money and try to let this work. I'm going to try to teach you how to trade Apple here. It's a slow one. We could easily bounce around this area, right? It's a big support. I just want to be positioned well so I can have a cushion of profit before this 180 level comes. So this is honestly what I want to see, a really strong push down, and then we're going to ideally see a relief bounce here up into around this 180.50 level, and that's where we can really start adding to this. So let's see what happens here. Still loving the volume. If they straight shot it, then they just straight shot it. But I don't think that they're going to do that. It's pretty aggressive. Starting to get a little bounce here on futures. Here we go. Coming up to this 180.50 level. Got right above it there. Nice. That's not bad. That's not bad. See, big reason why I say that they're probably not going to straight shot it. So that's perfect. I like this. Ideally, we see a pretty solid wick or something here. The 180 puts, JWAG, Again, I want to be in a lot more contracts, so I'm just still have this starter position, but this is what I want to see. So if we can start seeing a new low on this, that's where I'm going to get that's where I'm going to get interested, I think. It's not a bad spot to get a starter position up in here. It's nothing crazy, but we're seeing a nice wick on futures again. I'm going to go ahead and grab just one more. And on this new low, that's probably where I'm going to start really adding into this, if we can get that. Because we can easily just bounce here. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it bounce to 181, and this trade's probably over. But I like the weakness I'm still seeing on futures. Apple just had a little relief bounce, had some volume in it, but whatever. But yeah, 180 puts for this week is what I'm trading, guys. I don't want to see this bounce much higher. Up in this 50-cent level is what I talked about, right? Kind of up in this area is where I would like to see this reject and then fall back to lows. Wouldn't want to see this go much higher, but it definitely can. Futures are kind of double bottoming off the lows here. That's okay. Contracts are about 160. I think they were closer to about 180 there at the lows. Here we go. Nice little rejection there. I want to see this get pretty aggressive. That would be ideal here. Market's trying to push and Apple's trying to slip up. So once again, seeing some weakness on its own here. This is where we need that market to complement us. The whole trade could get screwed up if the overall market tries to bounce. So just be patient here. One more solid slip from ES and NQ with Apple staying weak is probably going to be all we need for this to break through. So cross your fingers. Once this stuff happens, boom, 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 we get in, we look for this 180 break, and then we just kind of start scaling out as this continues to slip. Look at that. Market tried bouncing there, and Apple is not wanting to move. That's a good sign. Trying to get under that 50-cent level. Come on, market. Let me see you roll over. It's all we need. If you guys have other screens, look at SPY or ES or NQ or QQQ so you know what I'm looking at here. Look at this top side wick here on Apple as the market's trying to push a little bit. I want to see some more aggressive selling like we saw just a couple minutes ago. That's going to confirm this trade for me, and I'll really start to buy into this around this low. I want this to happen pretty soon, though. The later on we get in the day, the lower the volume, and Apple already has some low volume. Here we go. NASDAQ and ES starting to roll over here. Come on, Apple. Let me see you get aggressive. We'll know when this is ready. We're going to start seeing candles like this, like we saw just about 5 minutes ago. And to me, that'll prove that this is ready to start slipping. Until then, though, we just have to wait. Still just have my starter. I'll just have probably a break-even stop around that 150 level. This is the last spot that I want to see it kind of reject off of. If we get above this, whatever, we'll walk away from the trade and wait for this new low, and then we can really catch this. Here we go. A little bit of weakness coming in. Look at times and sales. We're getting a lot of red starting coming in. Here we go. Look for volume to pick up now. I don't want to see any big wicks on the bottom side. I want to see this start really slipping here. Here we go, guys. I think I'm going to take probably about a half position around this low and then see the momentum we get into 180, because 180 is the big level. Everything up here is just kind of a starter. I want to be positioned just a little bit ahead of time just because if we can get a solid 180 break, then we can then use that as a stop loss for 1, and 2, we're going to have a green profit cushion, right? So, I mean, once again, we're kind of getting what I've talked about this, for the last 20 minutes. Rip down close to 180, bounce up to this 50-cent level, and we're starting to roll back. So, I mean, this is pretty textbook, guys. We just need to see the overall market slip with us, and I think we got this in the bag. I want to see some aggressiveness come out of this. That candle was good, not ideal. I want to see this follow through here now. Nice. Watch volume here. Only about 50,000 volume so far on this candle, and we're halfway through it. So not perfect, but this is starting to move a bit. Downside wick here, across the board. Starting to see some more selling pressure come in. A little bit of a bounce. Apple didn't want to go anywhere. That's good. Watch the cues. Still going to wait for this new low to start really adding into this, because I want to see it get aggressive. That was nice. Green to red candle. Across the board here. ES trying to come in for low a day. Loving this. Loving this. Nice. New low. Going to take a little bit of a position here, guys. We're starting to get what we want, but I want to see ES break low a day here. Let's go. Keep slipping here. We got 25 cents off from 180 here on that low. A little bit of a bounce here. That's okay. I want to see them quickly push these candles down if they can. Again, it might be easier just to throw this on like a 2-minute chart here and just let this really trade out. I mean, this is a great looking setup, guys. So like I've said all day, Apple's a slow mover. You just kind of got to let it work for you. As anxious as it may make you, these are the trades where you can really catch a big percentage. Nice topside wick there on the 2-minute chart, guys. That's awesome. I'm going to have a 2-minute chart up on my screen, and I'm going to watch a 1-minute on the side here. Still holding under that 50-cent level, which I do like to see, but this is just a slow one. Gotta let it keep working for us here. Somewhat of a double bottom, but that's okay. We did make a new low. Ideally, we want to see a lower high here. I don't want to see this go anywhere near 180 and 60 cents. Anywhere under that would be fine. Even if we bounce off 180 and 50 cents, that's fine. I mean, ideally, we just roll right here. Market is as well. We just got a new low on ES. I want to see Apple start slipping up here, and we're not. Just got to be patient. Come on, Apple. Let me see this new low. If we can get a new low and we can start seeing volume pick up, times of sales start kind of flying, I think this should go right to 180, especially if we get a little bit of weakness here in the market. Just need to see some volume come into it. Just hanging out here, still super weak, guys. I mean, there's no buying pressure in this just yet. Just want to see a new low here. The new low is 180.25. Mark this off. We're struggling to get above this 180.40 level. So that's good. What I don't want to see is a big buy-up candle kind of squeeze through up here. Stigro, I got the 180 puts right now. Looking for a break of 180. Market staying on a downtrend here. We are getting above this 180.40 level. That's okay. You're not seeing aggressive buying just yet. It's just kind of a little slow bounce up here. Then we're seeing some nice rejections. So you just got to play the patience game here. This is why you don't take a full position right off the bat. You know, you just kind of sprinkle some contracts in here and there. Yeah, expiring at the end of the week, JWAG. We're above this 40 cent level here. 180.50 is definitely the highest I want to see this bounce if it's going to do this. If you get above there, you're going to get a little hesitant, but I still like this. I know I've said it a bunch, but I want to preach. Apple's a slow mover. You have to let it work a bit for you. These contracts aren't going to move sporadic and all crazy. Back up here into the zone. So definitely need to see some rejections up in this area. Market's bouncing a bit, so Apple bounced as expected. Right here around this 50 cent level. It's got to reject off this zone. If we can't do that, Apple, we might not get the trade today. So far, I've liked everything up until this 1 minute candle. This is the first sign that I don't like to see. Right here at this 60 cent level. And, we may just go into kind of a chop consolidation box. I don't know. Not going to give it a whole lot more room, though, unfortunately. But I'm not going to get faked out on a 1 minute wick. I want to see some closes above my stop here. Market didn't really bounce that much. I mean, we definitely did get a bounce in the market. Apple didn't have any crazy volume. Still under the average. Just made a little new high out of here. If this doesn't reject anywhere soon, then I'm probably just going to cut it and I'll wait for a low. But that's kind of the rejection I want to see here on a 1 minute on Apple here. So definitely needs to roll over here. If not, then we'll step away from this. Some nice rejections there. I do like to see that. This is definitely its last chance here. This is kind of where the market's at its downtrend. So we can either squeeze through this downtrend or we can get a nice rollover for a new low a day. And Apple should follow that. Here we go. So we're starting to get some rejections here. So now we need to get back under this 50 cent level. This is going to be, once again, a level we need to watch. Right through it. I love to see that. Let's see these candles start closing under. Market actually has a green candle right now, and Apple slipped right through that. I love that. Let's see this keep going here. This is great. I want to see a new low out of this. Beautiful candle here. Not a ton of volume, but a strong candle. Let's see if we can get some continuation out of this here. Market did roll over We can all get new lows out of this. I love it. This candle needs to close under the 50-cent level here. We got about 12 seconds until the end of the minute. Nice, and it's just still making lows. Be patient with Apple. Here we go. I want to see the start getting aggressive here. That was a great rejection. They kind of went up there, grabbed some shares to short. I want to see a new low come out of this. You've had one contract, 177.50 strike. Okay, no worries. If you see a strong move here through this low, that's kind of where I may try to add some more contracts. Other than that, I mean, I'm just kind of break even right here. So I'm just going to let it work. Back up into the zone, back above 180.50. It's not what I want to see. Not at all what I want to see. This is almost going to be a bullish engulfment if we can get above 180.60 on this 1 minute candle. Give me a big old rejection back under 180.50 here. Closed it back above. It's not looking good. It's a higher low here on the 1 minute. Not super significant, right? It's still on the 1 minute chart, but the principles are all still the same. You don't want to see a higher low like that because that starts an uptrend here unless they can rip it right back down like this. I want to see them get under this candle here and I'll be confident. If you guys want to take some size off just because it's kind of stressing you out, then you're probably in with too much. So do that. I want to see under 180.40 here. I mean, ideally, we hold under this 50-cent level. That's going to keep me happy. But 180.40 to about 180.25 is that last little zone there. If we can give that up, I mean, obviously, if we give up 180.25, I think we're probably going to go right for it. Let me go check this 180 wall. I bet they added to it. It's about the same. It's about 150, 160,000 wall there. It's not bad. The closer we get to it, the more they'll add to it too. That was actually a thing back in the day. It's illegal now to do it. But it's called spoofing. You get close to a level, add huge orders, just kind of to scare people off. There we go, guys. Look at that. Beautiful. I want to see volume pick up. That was a reason why they could easily bounce things there is when there's low volume. Here we go here. We're about 2 cents off from a new low. 4 cents, 3 cents, 5. Come on, Apple. Market rolled pretty nicely. I got to see this roll. I got to see this go here. There's no reason that should bounce after a strong candle like that. At least not test lows. If we don't test lows, I may just take this off small green. But in the back of our heads, we need to think Apple's slow. 2 cents off. 3, 2. Come on. I think if we do break this low, it's going to be pretty fast. So I don't think you're going to see one little cent break or whatever, or we're going to get a bounce. About 10 cents off now. Come on, Apple. Let me see what you got. And there's our bounce, what I don't want to see. So ideally, we get a pretty nice top side wick here. And this rolls right back down. Look at that. Well, there you go. That's just kind of what happens, guys. I might shave some off here just because it should have gone there. Market stayed weak. Apple's getting some random buying pressure here. Makes me think that they don't want to come in and sell this off. They actually want to buy the support up. This is its last little bit of resistance here. Look how quickly things can change. But again, we're still kind of in this zone. I mean, you can honestly draw the zone this big. Gotta let it work. Market staying weak, but we're really not getting strong new lows. It's just kind of hovering at the bottom. Little wick there at the end of the candle. Back under 180.50. $10 a.m. Okay. Still got some time on that. 180.40. Pretty solid move back down. I mean, I'm not mad at it, but again, we're playing with pennies here. I'm looking for a multi-dollar move here under 180, but obviously I'm not going to hold all that. If we can get a solid 180 break, I'm probably going to take most of it off. I mean, this has taken a lot longer than I thought, but I mean, I've seen this on Apple before. You get your bear flag break, you get your consolidation, you just kind of have to wait it out. And then once you get that break, it's solid. I mean, I rather things take time to really set up and get a strong move than for them to just all happen real quick and you just get a mediocre move. So not only has this taken time over a few months on a big time frame, it'll take time throughout the day, and then you get your move. New low on NQ. We're not seeing new lows on Apple, so that's not my favorite sign in the world. It's in break even here though, so I mean I'm not too intrigued to just get out for no reason. Had a small bounce off low a day on the NASDAQ here. We're trying to hold under this 50-cent level. Probably just going to use a new high out of this as a stop loss. Keep it nice and tight. And then just kind of respect it. Wait for a new low through 180, or we hit stop loss. See, I don't like those bottom side wicks at all. Tries to go for a low, the market bounces. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense, but as weak as this looks, it's not continuing. But again, we're at a big support. So this could easily just be where people are starting to buy it up and looking for a bigger bounce. If we can get this though, it could be really, really great. Pretty solid balance on ES. Apple hasn't done a whole lot. Still sitting in this zone here. This is like a 40-cent zone, so it's really nothing too crazy. Just another top of it, though. It's got to reject here. If we stop out, whatever, I'm still going to wait for this. I think there's still a chance. You can always get back in a trade. No reason to just kind of bag hold a loser. The win would easily make up for it, so shouldn't be dealing with any sort of time decay. Maybe just a little bit, but nothing crazy. Market's staying on a downtrend here, and Apple's going flat. So it's really not my favorite action here. The last thing I want to see is this to just shoot right through this 180.70 level, and we go up to 181. Because it could happen pretty quickly here. People just everyone short is probably going to be looking around the same stop loss as me, just kind of right above this consolidation here. So let's just try to be patient. Keep an eye on the market, though. That ES pop just got rolled right back over here. So I want to see Apple kind of front run this. One of the times here, if we can get a strong move to this low, the floor's got to give here. And that should help Apple get enough momentum to start coming into this 180 level here. Look at times and sales. A lot of red coming in. Volume's low, so we're going to look for a volume spike. Got a wall at 180, so there are orders there expecting price to hit that. If you're stressed out, you're in with too much money. This should be pretty just slow, relaxed trade here. Nvidia is trying to go for a low a day. Geo, yeah, should. Yeah, obviously it's not a guarantee, but people have a lot of orders sitting there waiting to get executed at that 180 level. Here we go. A little bit more of an aggressive move. Gotta see this low a day get taken out. This is what I'm waiting on here. 4 cents away. 3, 2, 1 cent. This should do it here. We're getting some. You can see times and sales start speeding up here. We got a new low on NQ. We just tapped it. We're at 180.25 on the bid. Let's see this break here. Give me a new low. Nice. I told you guys it should be aggressive. I don't want to see this get bought up. I want to see this go right for 180. It might take a candle or two, but I do like how we closed under. Retesting 180.25. A little bit of a bounce up here. That's okay, though. A little bounce on the overall market. Would like to see a topside wick here. I may even take some off green here, guys. I'm up about 10%. Look at that. Solid, 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 solid move. Come on. Give me some more. I want to see this 180 break. Rejecting here at the original low a day. That's what I like to see. Come on, market. Let's see some more. NVIDIA made new lows. I want to see other stocks coming with me here. AMD is as well. Tesla's at lows. Come on, Apple. This is your chance here. We're still up pretty decent here, so I may take a little bit off here on this next little new low. But again, the big trade here is going to be sub 180. We can get under there with some momentum. Things might start getting a little crazy. Some decent sell orders coming in here. 4,700 shares, 1,000 shares. Let's see that volume. We got a nice little volume spike on that original low. Just got another new low here, about 10 cents away. Watch volume and times and sales as this comes into 180 here, guys. This is solid. I've been waiting for a trade like this. Be patient. A little bit of a buy up. Again, 180 is a big support. We could easily get bought up here. So if you want to take some profits, go for it. Whole market's kind of getting bought up a little bit here. So just trying to be patient. I'm going to go ahead and just take a little off just to have a little cushion. Can always add back into this. Kind of a low volume bounce there. Nice wick there on the top side. Beautiful. I want to see that hold. You can see, so I mean, strong sell-off, kind of a weak bounce, strong sell-off, weak bounce. I mean, obviously, I want to see it red candle after red candle like we saw up here, but we're at a pretty important level. So we could see a little bit of chop, but I mean, it's going to be a pretty big battleground here. So yeah, NVIDIA did bounce. A lot of things are starting to bounce a bit. Apple could bounce. That's why I took some profits here, whatever. Market's bouncing, but you're not seeing anything super aggressive as of yet. For Apple, we just got to try to be patient. As hard as it is, this is going to be the next. This is our resistance now. So we need to hold under this. Be sure to take some profits off. Why not? If you have multiple contracts, just take some off here. Here we go. Beautiful rejection there. The market isn't even selling off just yet. So if the whole market rolls over with this, we're gone. I'm not seeing aggressive buying coming in like you would probably see on a bounce day. So we're about 12 cents off from 180. Let's see if we can get this. Low a day is 180 and 10 cents. Let's be patient here. Let's really let this work for us. $180.13. $180.14. Watch the bid. If you guys can see where the bid is, that's what I'm staring at right now. I want to see that hit 180.10, break through, and then watch as it gets close to 180. Charlie, no, there should be some audio. Looks like you're deafened, so hit the little oh wait, he can't even hear me. Let's see here. So a little bit of a bounce here again. 180.10 is the low a day. The whole market's kind of bouncing here just a bit, so I'm not surprised at this. I do like to see the kind of aggressive pullbacks here. Someone help out Charlie. It still says you're deafened, Charlie, but he can't even hear me. All right, let's see here. 180, 10 cents. We're coming in. 180, 12, 180, 11. $187. So we did get a new low. Not that aggressive, though. I want to see this really start going here. 180 and 8 cents, 9 cents. We're creeping in here. So I want to see volume start picking up because we need momentum to take out this wall here at 180. Here we go. Nice little wick there. Okay. 180.11. So we're bouncing back above that original low of day here. Just getting a little bit choppy. If you look at NQ, we had a bounce that hasn't rolled over just yet. So looks like Apple's just kind of waiting on that right now. I hate how long this is taking. I wanted that new low to be quick into 180, and it's not. So, but we are a little bit late in the day. We're a little over an hour in. So that's why I scaled some off. Whatever. Have a little bit of profits in. May not make as much on the move, but we now have a cushion because then we can just have a simple break-even stop loss on the rest of our position here. So definitely don't want to see this get over 180.25. It needs to stay down here and make this new low happen quick. This is why I want this stuff early on in the morning with this volume. Because you get it late morning, they're made as good as the setup looks. Without volume, it's not going to be able to be an aggressive, clean, smooth move that could really pay. So the longer we wait here, the more I dislike it. Gotta hold here. I don't want to see it get above. You can tell it rejects at this area, which is good, but once we get above and start closing candles above, it might be done. Beautiful rejection there. Come on, market. One more new low for me. We haven't gotten any sort of aggressive sell-offs on futures today. It's just kind of a slow grind down. Nothing too great. At any point here, though, they could use that downtrend they've been riding all day and just rip things up. And that's when Apple's going to have a dollar candle out of nowhere. So be on your toes here. Above 180.25. Market's trying to bounce a bit. Still green, but I may just, again, I got a break even stop on the rest of this stuff. I'll be okay with small green. Beautiful little rejection there. It's just, like I've said all morning, this is a patience game. Apple's a slow one. Apple's a grandpa of the stocks right now. Back under 180.25. Beautiful. That's a good rejection. That's kind of a bearish engulfment there. Seeing some good rejections on futures too on the top side. Come on, just give me this break here. It's going to be awesome if we can get it. About 15 cents off. Another topside wick there. I like that. Market's trying to push. Come on. This is when SPY and the Qs have to work with us here. Everything is lining up and they're doing the wrong thing. That's where you'll get a bounce like this. Look, this is what I was worried about here. Look at NQ. Just kind of randomly breaking this downtrend and you'll get a little bit of momentum that'll pull Apple off its lows. Come on, Apple. Let's go. You're so close. Nice wick here on ES, though, to the top side. It's taking way longer than I thought, but we'll see. Market's still trying to balance here. Apple's trying to hold under 180.25. As good as the setup is, it's sometimes you run into this and you just have to sit here and read the price action. It's boring and kind of stressful, but you know, when you get those really clean trades, be thankful for them, because as good as setups get, sometimes they take an hour to actually happen. Here we go. 10 cents off now. 12 cents. Let's go. We got a low here at 180.07. I'm gonna mark this off here. About 3 cents off from a new low. 2 cents, 1 cent. Let's go. I want to see this break right here and go straight to 180 and at least test it. Chop Central. The one candle I need futures to be red on, they have a green candle. There we go. Nice little wick there to the top side. 180 and 10 cents here. 9 cents, 8 cents. New low just got tapped. There we go. 4 cents off. Here we go, guys. Get ready. Look at times and sales. Watch for volume. I want to see this get freaking crushed here. We got 3 cents off. 6 cents off. Sitting right around that low a day we just broke. Market's starting to push. This is just the one time I need this to work here. It's all lining up. 5 cents, 4 cents. Bouncing. Market's bouncing on us. It's okay. Low volume on this right now. They can easily reject this. We came down 1 cent. I mean, you can tell 180 is a level of interest here, so just got to wait. They added to the wall here. We got about a ish. About 160, 170,000. Someone just bought 285 of these 180 puts. Starting to get some attention here. There we go. Come on. Nice rejection there. We just need NQ and ES to roll over, guys. We got this. Look at them. They're just slowly grinding up, and Apple wants to make this slip. $0.03 off. Here we go. 2 cents. This might do it right here. Watch times in sales and volume. That's going to show you. 1 cent times in sales is speeding up. We tapped 180. Wall's still there. 1 cent. Let's go, Apple. Do it. Market's still trying to push here. If we can just get one little roll over here, this thing is gone. Apple's way weaker than everything else. Oh my goodness, there's no way. Market's still trying to bounce on us here. Only 7 cents off, though. We're not that far. Look how weak Apple's staying here. It's doing everything I could possibly ask it. Yeah. Come on here, market. Just one roll over here, and we're going to get this. It's going to kill me if this just bounces here on us, but it is what it is. The stock did everything it possibly could. Low volume bounce there. I'm not that scared of that. It's low volume. It's obviously not where I want it to be going, right? But the market's really bouncing on us now. So might just have to hit that break-even stop loss. To keep me in this trade, I need to see a big wick here. That was a 30-cent bounce on Apple. It's unbelievable. We just touched 180. And there we go. All good, Frosty. That's unreal. I don't know. Maybe we still get it, but we'll have to see. Make sure your stop losses break even, guys. Mine should get hit just above 180 and 40 cents. I'll get back in this if it rolls back, but if not, then whatever. It's a nice little rollover here. Just kind of probably just look to play the new low a day. That's about it. It's all good, Slim Pickers. We still may get this. Again, 180 is that huge level. That's why, I mean, as much as I hate it, the price action right now is showing me that this is an important level. If we can start really giving this up and start closing candles under 180, that's where, you know, you could see a day that sells off, or, you know, a two-day kind of move. But right now, geez, man, it's just not doing what I want at all. 179 and 10 cents is that low down there. So another dollar move on this would be great. 15-minute chart doesn't look bad. See what a 2-minute looks like here. 2-minute did flip green here on this little trend changer. For us to get this today, I mean, obviously we need to probably hold under 180.50. Market just kept ripping. Like, you know, it didn't rip hard at all. It just kind of kept grinding. And right when Apple needed to be weak, it was, but the whole market wasn't. So it's easy for buyers to kind of come in, scoop that up, and take that trade away from us. None of the wall got chipped, though. I can see how many orders are still sitting there, and we still have 160,000. So maybe 1 or 2 orders got transacted there, but not those big sets of orders. So we'll see if they bring this back down today or not. That is so unfortunate, guys. That looks so good. One break there, volume spikes, times the sales goes crazy, and we can get a 50, 60, 70 cent drop there in about 1 minute. And Our contract should be probably around $2 a pop, make about 30-40%. Would have been cool. I don't know. Maybe we still get it, maybe we don't, but I'm already about an hour and 15 and 20 minutes in. I do think that Lee has a live stream. Oh, nope, it's just me. Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll stick around for a little bit longer. Can't stay forever though. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, yeah, small profits could have been huge, but that's, I just had a feeling if the market doesn't roll over here, Apple's just going to catch a bid and just rip. And sure enough, that's what we got. And here we go, back up to the top of the zone here. Whole market starting to bounce. Yeah, no, I'll try to stick around here, but well, I mean, this is Apple's last little chance here. If they don't reject it here, it's probably done. But that's why you take some profits on the way, break even, stop loss. On times like this when things line up as perfect as they possibly can, one little thing could go wrong and it'll just ruin the trade. Could easily still happen today. I mean, I don't know. What else is going on? Nvidia's Shop Central. Apple just crazy bounce. BA 204, not much movement there. What else, guys? AMD 165. Apple just touched 180 and 70 cents. Might be Dunzo. Love to see this market roll over, but I don't think it is. Yeah, I mean, I guess it was good to learn from for sure. Just, it's trading. It can only put us on stuff that's high probable, but nothing's guaranteed, Still might get it. I mean, I'm not completely disappointed in this. I mean, obviously, I think that setup was pretty good. We just needed that last little nudge from futures and we would have gotten it. But that's just sometimes the luck of the draw. But scale some out, a little bit of profit, break even, stop loss, even a small loss, and that's fine because this is a setup where you can make 50, 60, 70% on this pretty easily if you can catch the move and not just, get in and get out right on the 180 break. I mean, I would definitely have taken some profits just right on the break because of the premium flip when the contracts go from out of the money to in the money. And just the overall speed of it will inflate those contracts pretty quickly. So boom, take a little off and then look to ride it out. So big time frame setup, big time frame move. But once again, we kind of rejected up here in this area. Maybe we fall back down, maybe we don't. We'll see. We will see. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Apple did a whole lot of nothing. We get through 180.70. Might call it a day. As unfortunate as that is. I don't know. We may get this trade tomorrow. BA to me is the better downside trade, but we'll see what happens. 180.70 getting touched here. Market's just on slow grind up. Apple just can't do it all on its own. 180.71 starting to get through there. VWAP's up here around 180.90. I don't want to see this push through that hard. If it does, then we'll wrap up. If not, then maybe this takes another 30 minutes, but I'll have to end the stream and then I'll pop back on here if we do get this. Starting to push through now. Oh, Apple didn't want to give it to us today. We even touched 182. It just makes it even worse. Contracts are still getting bought, though. People are still buying bundles of 50 and 100. Market just, I mean, just look what happened here. This is what screwed it up. Market was weak, and just started grinding. We got no move back down. So that's just kind of what ruined it. Coming up into VWAP, though, this is probably its last chance to reject up here. We're coming up into the zone here that we did fall out of, though. So maybe it rejects here and comes back down today. I don't know. Maybe we get it tomorrow. Who knows? Gonna give this like 1 or 2 more minutes here, guys. We're about to hit that 11 o'clock Eastern time. Nice rejection there. I do like that. Market just isn't rolling over. That's kind of the last thing Apple needs here. I think if we do get a rollover and we see some aggressive selling on Apple, we could still get it. But the later in the day this happens, the less likely it is to be very clean. We're seeing some bigger buys come in, 4,500 shares, 1,000 shares. Coming right into VWAP here. This is its last chance. $180.90. Come on, Apple. Let's see you reject here. Market's just ripping right through VWAP. Well, guys, I guess that's it. Kind of unfortunate. That was looking like a pretty good trade, but it is what it is. Welcome to trading. Nothing's guaranteed, as good as things look. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Thank you so much for showing up. Again, kind of another unfortunate day, but it is what it is. If Apple comes back down, then I'll hop back on Mike. But if not, then maybe we get it tomorrow, or maybe we get BA. We'll see. But good risk management today. I mean, that's, to me, that was a good lesson. Take some off, break even stops, just in case something like this happens. So that's why those rules are in place. So y'all have a good one, guys. And I'll see you tonight at my free lesson tonight. So take care. See you tonight.